Britain first means British children. First scrap the cap, feed our kids. Let's not play dumb. Rachel Reeves is about to take the stage on 26th of November with her shiny new budget, and the headline act, scrapping the two-child benefit cap, not tweaking, not fiddling, scrapping, that Tory-era austerity relic is about to be shoved in the skip. Good riddance, some will say. And yes, on the face of it, good riddance, but here's where the fire starts. Because while Reeves and her Labour spin doctors polish the compassion narrative until it glows, nobody's asking the only question that matters. Who exactly is this compassion for? And my answer is blunt enough to slice glass. British children, born here, citizens. This land, this soil, this future, that's where every penny must go first. Britain first, our children first. No more apologising for saying it, no more watering it down with buzzwords about shared humanity, while the food banks groan under the weight of desperation. Reeves and the performance charity. Rachel Reeves is not stupid. She's cautious, calculating, obsessed with headlines. For years, Labour refused to commit on the two-child cap, hiding behind numbers and polls like a kid behind the sofa. Now, suddenly, it's budget time, and Reeves wants the halo. The two-child cap was always cruel arithmetic. If you had more than 2 children after 2017, you lost child benefit support for the extras. Cold, brutal, but simple. It saved the Treasury billions by doing what politicians love most, punishing the poor because they're the easiest to punish. Reeves now wants to be the opposite. St. Rachel, saviour of hungry children. Cute, except she's not saying who pays, she's not saying who benefits, and she's definitely not saying what it means when unlimited eligibility collides with unlimited demand. That's why I'm here. To say the bit Reeves won't. Britain's real red line. Here's my rule. No British child should face food poverty. None. Zero. Not one child should go to bed hungry in a land that can afford royal weddings, wars abroad, and MPs with 2 subsidised bars in the same building. But don't twist it. Compassion is not the same as chaos. Reeves wants compassion without boundaries. I want compassion with clarity. And that clarity is this. If you were born British, this system has a duty to you. If you emigrated here, the duty is conditional. You graft, you contribute, you earn your place, because the British state is not a universal babysitter. It is a national compact, tax in, services out. And when that compact breaks, when food banks replace family meals, it is British families, not foreign ones, who must be defended first. The graft myth. Let's dismantle the sob stories. Every time someone raises this, you'll hear the chorus. But immigrants are vulnerable too, but their children are hungry too. Of course they are. Poverty is poverty. Nobody denies that. But let me say the harsh truth out loud. Your hardship does not automatically become Britain's debt. We're told endlessly that immigrant parents just need help and can't find hours. Nonsense. Millions of British-born parents are out here stacking 2 jobs, pulling night shifts, juggling work and childcare until their spines snap. They don't get excuses. They don't get the luxury of shrugging at the rota. They graft because they must. So when Reeves says she's scrapping the cap, my first demand is this. Make it work first. If parents can work, they will. If they can't find hours, the state helps them into hours. But nobody, I mean nobody, gets to raise their kids on the taxpayer's dime while clocking out of responsibility. The arithmetic of priorities. Let's talk numbers, because Reeves hates numbers unless they fit on a poster. Scrapping the cap in full, roughly 3.5 billion a year by the end of this parliament. That's not peanuts. That's not sofa change. That's an entire line in the national accounts. Now ask yourself, who gets that money? Where does it flow? If it all pours out indiscriminately, then yes, British-born children will eat better. But so will anyone else with a qualifying child, regardless of whether their roots here are a year deep or 1,000. And here's the kicker. Every pound spent without priority is a pound diluted. You don't target, you don't focus, you don't prioritize, you waste. And the people who lose aren't foreigners. The people who lose are British-born kids still hungry at the end of the month because the pot is too thin to cover them properly. Compassion without priority is dilution. Dilution is failure. Failure is hunger. That's the arithmetic Reeves refuses to do. 5 demands. Here's what Reeves should legislate if she actually gave a damn about British poverty. Lift the cap for British-born children only. Full stop. Born here, citizen here, they get the support. No third child penalty, no child in Britain penalised for the year they were born. Residency gate for immigrant families. Minimum of 5 lawful years before full eligibility. You live here, you contribute here, you join the system. No fast track, no loopholes. Work first conditionality. If parents are able, they're working. Full stop. No endless opt-outs. Hours, training, apprenticeships, show graft, get support, targeted kid-centric programs, expand free school meals, give uniform credits, provide nutrition vouchers, direct ring-fenced, no parent misspend excuses, clawback and fraud checks. If you game the system games you back. Taper benefits, no cliff edges, no black market child allowances. Do that and Britain wins. Scrap the cap smartly, not sloppily. Feed our kids first, not Twitter's ideology first. The morality play. You'll hear the critics howl. That's cruel. That's xenophobic. That's unfair. Spare me. What's cruel is a British child crying into an empty fridge while politicians play virtue signalling poker. What's xenophobic is pretending priorities are prejudice. What's unfair is asking the British taxpayer to bankroll compassion without limits while their own children skip meals. Real fairness is order. Real fairness is boundaries. Real fairness is this: British kids first, then others. You want to join the circle? Fine. Prove you belong. Show contribution. Earn it. That's not cruelty, that's clarity. Reeves' political game. Let's be honest, Reeves isn't doing this for morality. She's doing it for headlines. She wants the image of Labour as the party that ended child poverty. She wants the glowing op-eds, the saintly aura, the photos of children smiling with free school meals. She wants to look like the anti-Tory, the mother of compassion. But she won't say who pays. She won't say who gets priority. She won't say that her 3.5 billion gamble could just as easily dilute as it could deliver. She's too busy sculpting the optics to tackle the substance. That's why I'm flaming her. Not because lifting the cap is wrong. It isn't. It's overdue. But because Reeves is trying to buy sainthood with someone else's wallet, without the courage to draw a line. Britain first is not hate. Let me slam this point home. Britain first is not hate. It is basic governance. A government that doesn't put its own children first has no right to call itself sovereign. We're not saying immigrant kids don't matter. We're saying immigrant parents must earn their place before the state picks up the tab. You want the benefits of British society? Then join British society fully. Pay in, contribute, show commitment, then the safety net extends. That's fair, that's balanced, that's sustainable. And yes, critics will scream, they'll twist it, brand it racist, throw labels like darts. But you know what? While they're screaming, British children are still hungry. Labels don't feed bellies. Policies do. The future Britain deserves. Picture it, a Britain where no child born here goes hungry, where every school child has a hot meal, where uniforms are affordable, shoes are sturdy, and homework isn't done by torchlight in freezing kitchens. That Britain is possible, but only if the money is targeted, not scattered like confetti. Scrap the cap, yes, but scrap it with purpose, scrap it with boundaries, scrap it with Britain's children at the front of the line. That's how you make compassion real instead of rhetorical. Rachel Reeves, if you want the halo, fine, take it. But remember this, compassion without clarity is chaos. Budgets without boundaries are betrayal. If a single British child still starves while your compassion funds headlines, then you've failed. Lift the cap, feed our kids, protect our families, but do it the right way, the British way, with sovereignty, with order, with priorities. Britain first, British children first, always, not right, not left, just real.